Hey everybody, welcome to Around the Twist episode 332. It's May 28th, 2018, and it's been a productive week. I feel like it. I don't feel like I have much to show for it, but we'll see as we go. Coffee's important. I've been fighting something, pretty sure it's allergies, but it's come with a headache with it, so I'm trying to stay on top of my caffeine intake. I know, right? So, first thing, what's on my needles? Majority of what I've had on the needles this week, you'll see in a bit because it'll be in another segment. But the one thing I do have is the stained glass blanket Take 2. Uh-oh. Oh no, okay. There it is. Sorry, I thought I lost my hook somewhere. So, the stained glass, the blanket itself has not had anything joined on it since the last time you saw it. So this big, ginormous hexagon thing, that this end of it, where my progress keeper is dangling, was the last row. I think these top 5. So I'm getting ready to turn and go down this other side. But I don't know why I got a wild hair. I wanted to see all those little balls of Socks That Rock that my mom and I had wound up about a month ago. I wanted to see how many centers I could actually get out of one of those, so I might have gone a little crazy. And, excuse me, I grabbed one out, and this first one, forgive me, I'm not going to know all the colorways for these. I didn't purchase them, so I don't know what they are. This first one I do know, though. It is Lucy. It's based off of Wendy Johnson from Wendy Knits. Her Seal Point Ragdoll cat that she had for years. It's the colors of her. That bright blue of her eyes. And the darker tips, and then the cream color she was. So I was able to get 3 full centers out of that. The next one, I don't know what this color is, but I love it and I want it. It's a gorgeous pale blue is the majority of it, but then it's got all these other red and orange and a teeny little bit of green and blue and turquoise, and it's so pretty. So I got 2 whole centers, and then the third one I was only able to make it halfway around on the final round, and we've discovered that's okay. So I got another almost center that this one doesn't have this little bit hanging off the edges. The final round, the 4th round of the Juggling Hexes pattern by Wendy Harbaugh. Helps if I tell you what pattern it is. So I'll just do that 4th round in black and then join it on. So that's not a problem. And then the third color that I did ties into my FO of the week, so we're going to wait and see. So I did 9 centers. Obviously, I have multiples of the same color, and now I'm kind of locked into that whole, do I want to crochet up as many of these as I can and then join them on? I'm going to kind of have to. Or at least do some more centers and then start joining. And save the centers and do more. I don't know. I'm winging it, people. Come on. So that's the one thing that I've kind of worked on this week, is that. And I'm just going to chuck stuff on the floor as I finish with it. More coffee. Second thing, actually no, I don't have anything else on the needles. That's it. That's all that I worked on. I didn't touch the Beck sweater. So we're going to move on to FO of the week, in which case I need to get these ready. This is what I was dinking around with a little bit ago. My friend Sarah's Lucky 13th socks are finished. It seems like I'm averaging about half a sock a week with these, because I started them on, let's see, it's May now, so April 28th, and I finished them May 27th, so roughly a week. But they're done. Haha. These are just my regular 64 stitch vanilla sock, top down with a heel flap. The colorway is Hawthorn. It's It's in Socks That Rock Lightweight. And it was one of their holiday colors a few years ago. Still have a good size ball. It's probably about racquetball size-ish. That's what I have left. Because Sarah likes her socks shorter and she wears like a size 7.5 shoe, so I'm able to do her socks a little bit shorter. Knit them up on a US 1.5, a 2.5 millimeter needle. Let's see, which one? Yep, there. You can see my progress marker right there. So I was just past picking up for the gusset last week, and I made it all the way out the foot, finished. The ends are woven in, they are not washed yet, but they're done. Yay. So tying into that, since I had the ball left over, and it was right there, I did 3 more centers. Those were my numbers 7, 8, and 9 for the stained glass blanket. So that's it. That's everything I've been working on this week, except pointy things. Reviving the pointy things segment a little bit. I had some stuff that needed repairs. So my mom helped me. Number 1 was hubby's deer blanket. This thing. I don't think I've brought it down and actually showed it to you guys. So this is a quilt that his Aunt Marcia made for him when he was in college. So it's over 10 years old. This is a quilt that has had, it's been loved to pieces, basically, or it's starting to go to pieces. So we had to save it because this is hubby's favorite blanket. It's this huge thing. It's just single panel, front and back. I mean, she pieced the back panel. I'm pretty sure she probably pieced the front. Now I have to find where I fixed it. There it is. Haha. And it had a few holes from being well-loved, well-used. So, following Mom's advice and with her kind of leaning over my shoulder, sitting in the chair next to me, I broke out the sewing machine. And because the holes were small enough, I was able to just kind of zigzag-ish over them. So we call it the deer blanket because it has this lovely woodland scene with deer leaping over fences. And this was a smaller hole. Actually, was that the smaller hole or was that the bigger hole? I don't remember. Anyway, right there. It's ugly, I know. That's okay. Doesn't matter. The holes are closed, and that's what matters to hubby. There's the second one, so kind of just up from the other one. I think this one was the bigger one, if I remember, yeah, because I did like 4 passes over it to make sure I caught all the edges. It was kind of like closing a buttonhole, and this one looks weird because there were actually 2 small holes within there, but they were close enough that I wanted to kind of join them together so they wouldn't run in between. And then, right nearby, we have this, yeah, you see that line, that huge long thing that runs all the way to the edge? That's because on the back of this quilt, that's a seam line on the back where, okay, I'll show you. Kind of right here, see where it runs straight down? That's where she joined 2 pieces of the backing material together. And there was starting to be holes, so, but let me show you. There were these 2 bitty holes that were starting right along the seam. That's where those larger blobs are. But the whole seam itself was starting to get thin pretty much from the edge on down. Just normal wear and tear, washing, what have you. So I have this, let's see, about 20, just shy of 20-inch long reinforcement along the seam on the back of this quilt that I just zigzagged over it. That's all I did. But hubby was happy. He has his deer blanket back. As soon as I handed it to him saying, hey, your deer blanket's fixed, he grabbed it and threw it over himself on the couch and was just happy as a clam the rest of the evening. So I'm really, really happy with that. Other pokey thing, Mom looked at me before, after lunch, after the twins were down for naps, and said, is there anything else that I need to fix while you're here? And I was like, yes, my green sweater. The hole that I had in the elbow that I discovered back in January. This sweater, it's my favorite sweater. and I was scared to fix it, and it was just laying there in a pile. So there's where the hole was. And honestly, if it's back here, you're not going to see it. You can see it because I'm pointing it out to you right there. But she actually took some other yarn that I had, some other Socks That Rock, I think lightweight, and split out 2 plies. And she was able to catch, evidently the yarn itself had, I don't know if it snagged on something or what, it had broken. She was able to catch the loose stitches and seam it all back together, and it's fixed, and I have my favorite snuggly sweater back. I love this sweater. I love it. It's the Calligraphy Cardigan by Hannah Fettig, and it's my favorite sweater ever, and I need to make another one. But beside the point, I have my green sweater back. Yay, so she fixed it. Other things, my parents have been here for about a week now, and the other major thing, and I love this so much, I think it was like back around Christmas, Dad had been watching me move laundry in our laundry room upstairs, which is just a closet right outside of our bedroom. And when we had purchased our front loader, when we had moved out here, we didn't have any, or at the time, we couldn't afford the risers, the pedestals to raise them up about 18 inches. And it's like, no, let's just not worry about them. We can get them later. Well, we never ended up going back and getting them. And they're the pedestals are ridiculous. It's something like $200 a piece or something at the time. That was 4 years ago. Who knows how much they are now? I haven't looked. But I'd found a DIY build your own washer dryer pedestals thing online. And I was saving it for when hubby got a wild hair to do another woodworking project, but my dad saw me struggling, kneeling on the floor, transferring stuff from the washer to the dryer, and then struggling to get back up again. So he mentioned he could build me something. I was like, oh, I have this thing saved. And we took measurements, and I sent him the how-to, and then he looked at it and kind of did his own thing and built 2 separate pedestals for the washer and the dryer. I brought those out this time. There's space underneath to slide a laundry basket in. Everything is high enough up I can stand there. And it's like slightly under chest height to pull stuff out and move it to the other. It's so nice, you guys. I about cried. And even with the cost of the lumber that he had, and I went and bought a gallon of paint, which I could have gotten by with a quart, but whatever. A gallon of good Valspar paint, and we painted them white out in the garage. It was like $120 for both of these pedestals, where, I mean, 4 years ago, buying one pedestal was $200. So yay for saving money. Yay for dads who are handy and can fix things like that. And for moms who know how to fix well-loved objects and everything. So yeah, happiness. Let's do a couple of any questions, and these are going to be the final 2 questions on the any questions thread. So if you want me to continue this segment, please, please, please go over to the Ravelry group. It's the thread stickied at the top called Any Questions. Ask me anything within reason. If it's not appropriate, I'll let you know. I think I have one more that's back on page 5 that I still haven't gathered, like my top 3 things. I'm sorry, the person that asked me that, I just haven't done it. So we'll get to that. But right now, oh, you're gonna, Julia from over in Scotland, please don't make me pronounce your name because I know it's Finnish and I know I'm gonna butcher it. Lularisi? That's butchered, I'm so sorry. So she's asked, hopefully this hasn't been asked yet, but if it has, feel free to skip. Are there any colors you love to knit with but would never wear? And are there any colors you wish you wore but don't? For the longest time, I thought this green. I never thought this would be a good color for me. I love this color. Colors I love to knit with. I love anything bright, visually like eye appealing to me. Myself, I like jewel tones, but orangier stuff like this. This is my Traveling Woman shawl. It's out of Sanguine Griffin bugga. It's way out of stock. That makes it look really red. It's actually very kind of a rusty orange. Let's see if ooh, that's closer. So this orange, I normally don't go for oranges, but this has enough red in it that I like it. Any colors I'd love to knit with but would never wear? I don't know, because I don't especially enjoy pastels and I don't enjoy knitting them, probably because it doesn't have that visual appeal to me. Any colors I wish I wore but don't? I don't know. Hard question, Julia. Really? You're stumping me here. I don't know. Any colors I love to knit with but would never wear? Oh, yes. Hang on. Haha. Because I happen to be cleaning out my craft room this week. Anyone remember when I did this pretty thing? So it's the pattern Pretty Thing by Yarn Harlot. It is a cowl, a tubular cowl. I knit this out of some cashmere, and it is natural colored cashmere. It's kind of an oatmeal color. I think the color is stunning. I loved to knit with it. I love this. I have never worn it because, and I'll show you why. Hang on. Let me put this on and you can see. Now granted, this is coming on a day when I have no makeup on, but still, even with makeup on, this color, look at this. Look at this. It makes me look sick. I love it. I love it, but it just drains any life out of my face. So it's kind of a, ooh, I could do that. That's better. Hey, I just found a new hat for winter. Oh, serendipity. I love it. So actually that doesn't look bad. That doesn't make me look as washed out as wearing it around my neck does. So I might just have a new headband hat thing. Cool. Any colors I wish I wore, but I don't. I love like the natural sheep fleece colors, but again, natural color normally makes me look sick. So I don't know. I might have to go a little further. There. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I love the natural colors and I wish I could wear them more, but it's just, it doesn't do well on me. Hopefully that answers your question, Julia. And then In the Dark, who doesn't have their regular name posted. So In the Dark on Ravelry, asked, were you able to use the blanket we made for your wedding? PM me if this isn't appropriate. Totally appropriate. Yes, I showed it on the podcast a few weeks ago. We use it all the time. It's one of our quilts or one of our blankets we keep upstairs in the main living room, so we use it quite frequently actually in the winter. And it is well loved and needing of repair at the moment, so I need to get my butt on that and fix it. I think that's it. So that was an easy one. Were we able to use the blanket we made for your wedding? Yes. Love it. And 5.5 years, almost 6 years later, it is very well loved. So yes, we use it and appreciate it and love it. And now this is making me look like I belong in Fiddler on the Roof, so I'm going to take that off my head. So I think that's everything for right now. Coming up, we've got the Estes Park Wool Market in about a week and a half, the 9th and 10th. Still haven't discussed whether we're going up Saturday or Sunday, so I'll let you know next week. I think that's it. So until next week, happy knitting.